What is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today we're going to be finishing up, hopefully, the Vita Carnis ARG that we have been experiencing for the last almost week and a half now. It's been a very enjoyable one. I think for the most part, some of the like puzzle elements have been a little bit easier to follow because a lot of them are hidden within the videos. So thanks to people like Knight of Blackfire and Mr. Singularity, they've kind of helped guide me and just give me, I guess, optimize the lore a bit, give me a little bit of information without giving me spoilers. So I've been able to, I think, piece together quite a bit of what's going on. Also, a lot of the messages that are hidden within the videos can be found if you just kind of pause the video on a frame perfect kind of method, or you can always try to just slow down the video, which is so much easier, and that was an excellent suggestion on the last stream, and we've been using that method, and it's so much easier to get clear shots of these really distorted kind of storybook images, or even images that might have some hidden imagery that we're trying to analyze. Right now we don't have too much in terms of how many videos we have left to watch, but I think with these last two videos, the flavor enhancer commercial and the Vita Carnis message, that's going to give us a lot more information that hopefully we can then piece together everything based on all my pages of notes. That's why you always see me looking up. These are all my pages of notes from Vita Carnis and then Happy Meat Farms, which we did before. Crane, so glad to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. We've actually moved on to, we did quite a bit of Happy Meat Farms when you were around, and we jumped into Vita Carnis, which we're about to probably finish up hopefully in today's stream. And then I have a poll going on that should you guys can participate in to help us decide which ARG or which analog horror more specifically we're going to be experiencing next. What have you discovered so far? Just to kind of recap, for Vita Carnis at this point in time, we've pretty much discovered, plain and simple, that we have this new species of creatures that started to come out in the 1930s. There was a cult that was, obviously somehow interacting with these creatures. And then we also have, all these occurrences and the newspaper clippings showing that although the documentary shows that they're relatively peaceful creatures, they actually have some sort of affinity to either technology or communication in some way, shape, or form. You always hear me clicking. I'm sorry, my rings click together, so my apologies if it hurts your ears. Other than that, though, we've also discovered that there's some sort of prince or royal family that somehow got separated in a ship-type wreck or something like that, and the younger prince was injured and entered a healing sleep. He had some sort of healing magic, but it did require him to sleep. Many years passed, or seasons at the very least, and he awakened to find that there was, these critters that had been feeding him berries. They were suffering from food shortages and things of that nature, so they initially and hesitantly asked for his help. And at the end of the previous stream, he actually opted to and decided that he would actually help them using his magic. So it's kind of interesting. Once I get the full picture, I can understand if it's more of a metaphor for like a species that's more advanced, talking to a lesser evolved species in that frame of mind, or maybe it's just a literal representation of what actually happened, and the critters might just be representations of nature or something. I don't know, but in either case, we found out quite a bit of stuff. Mr. Singularity and Knight of Blackfire have been incredibly helpful in guiding, and making sure, like, without spoilers, they're just, just only adding little bits of information that just enhance the overall experience. So far it's been fantastic. Absolutely love it. We got 2 videos to jump into, so... Crane says, I've been out. That's why I haven't been in your streams. Oh, no worries. Hopefully everything's good, though. I hope that you've been out because of your choice, not for like any health reasons or anything crazy going on, but hopefully everything is well with you, my friend. But yeah, it's nice to see you back, man. All right. So let's go ahead and figure out how to use the computer again. Mr. Singularity had several puzzles on his channel, and I solved the majority of them. This was the last one. It was real simple. It just says Nutri Co. I thought, that's the name of the company that I guess produces or creates the flavor enhancer. And obviously we know that the flavor enhancer must contain some sort of spores from the host of influence. So there's obviously something going on, considering the fact that the actual container or the label has the red triangle and the black circle, which we know we need to avoid at all costs. To me, I believe that's the sign of either the cult or, it's some sort of like Illuminati type presence that has government ties, because we saw military type officials with this same pin that had the same emblem on it. So the red triangle and the black circle is a very huge symbol that means something to the occult. We don't know what yet, but it might be something that they worship or what have you. I think it has to tie to the monoliths and the singularities in some way. But I just, thinking about it, right? A singularity or a black hole in and of itself is a singularity. And then you have a red triangle, which is upside down, is the shape of the monolith's head. So maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know just yet. I did try looking to see if there are any kind of anagrams or like words we could find within Nuchuriko, and there's not really much. I mean, you can create some stuff, but they don't really make sense, like courier and things like that, and none of them really mean anything. It's just so that's just the name of the company, I suppose. But even so, we know that they made the flavor enhancer, but I couldn't find anything specifically tying, maybe finding a hidden word or message just from that particular company name. So but yeah, that's where we're at. Let's see. Knight of Blackfire says, I do recommend going back and trying to get a better quality image of the earlier storybook images so you have an easier time reading them. You can also find them typed out in the comments of the documentary video. Typed out in the comments of the documentary video. Okay. The Singularity says, flavor enhancer. What's up, Mr. Singularity? The red triangle, black, exactly. Red triangle, black circle. That's the key. To me, that's the symbol, whatever the cult worships. The same cult that I believe was the one that fed the meat snake. So somehow they're tied, and they have, again, some sort of affiliation with the government, and that's why they're keeping everything hush-hush. But who knows? We'll find out more as we get through. But yes, I do agree. I have, I'm not sure how early you started watching Blackfire, but I do have probably, if not all of them, like 90% of the images saved. So let me see here. These are my thumbnails. I have 3 channels, guys, so I'm constantly working on different things, thumbnails, getting inspiration from images, things like that. Yes, here you go. Analog horror, Vita Carnis. So I have all these hidden messages. And I could make out most of them, for example. That's the radio tower. That's the first Prince page. Now, some of them are a little harder to read than others, but I've got a pretty good chunk of them. I do think that in order for me to have a complete picture, I do need to make sure that I'm not missing any hidden messages, and make sure that they are legible so that I can actually get the details that we're not supposed to have. Those details are going to help fill in all these gaps. So I certainly agree with you, and I will do that. Let's see, my bad. Opened up that on accident. Okay, now let's jump into the good old YouTube. So at this point in time, I think from the playlist, I want to go to the viewing order really quickly just to make sure that I haven't skipped anything. There's 16 videos here. I think one of them is going to be the duplicate, like complete viewing, not the viewing order, the complete like 7 or 8 creatures. We got the bonus footage of the Singularity. So let's see. We saw the meat snake specimen. That was really cool. We realized how that creature was an anomaly, and that it was incredibly massive. It used like skulls as teeth. It had different coloration and whatever. It was just unique in many ways. And then the species anomaly report indicated how the harvesters were kind of migrating towards a central location that seemed to converge on an island in the Hudson Bay area of the eastern Canadian border, I suppose. So anyways, that was cool. We also found out that some hitchhikers and whatever else got hurt in that incident, and that was pretty bad. I think that those are the 2 hitchhikers that ended up being reported in one of the other newspaper clippings, because there was a family of 4. Looks like the child and the mother got, unalived by the harvester. And then, so yeah, all we have is, whoa, hold on. We have 2 additional videos here. Okay, we have 3 videos. We have the flavor enhancer, the uncovered documents, and message. Okay, cool. So let's jump into those then. And I'm going to crank up the volume a bit. Make sure that the viewing order is like at normal speed. It's normal. Okay, and then we're going to enhance this bad boy. We're going to check on chat. And then we're going to get started. Let me see. I got to take my notes. I'm over here pretending I can remember all this information. All right, let's see. Night of Blackfire says... Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Singularity says, this motion picture was sponsored by Flavor Enhancer, the seasoning you need in your life. Otherwise, you'll just be missing out on all this flavor you could be enjoying. Night of Blackfire says, oh, I've watched all of them streams. I've only got to see the last streams and this one live. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, awesome, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. You've only gotten to see the last few live. Cool. Well, I'm glad that you can actually make it live. I know I stream at kind of a weird time, but it just works best for me. It allows me to stream for a long period of time and also still be able to be a dad and husband, because I got to be able to pick up the kids and do whatever else and all stuff. So it just fits my schedule. So I wake up early enough after I drop them off, then I can work on other channels, prepare for my stream, then I stream. And then I, kind of have the break after the stream where I have to get something to eat real quick and handle everything. And then I get back and I try and finish up some stuff. I'm a workaholic. And so sometimes I find myself like, I need to just take a break. If you guys hear some crazy humming noise, no, I'm not being abducted by aliens. It's just every time I press the record or go live button, they want to, like, the maintenance people want to, like, mow the lawn, like, every freaking day. So it's fine. It'll hopefully go away really soon. So let's do this. Oh, wait. What am I watching? Flavor Enhancer commercial. Sorry. Notes. I got to take my notes first. Flavor Enhancer commercial. Now, I feel like this is going to be huge. Remember whenever we saw the cooking tutorial, we did notice that whoever the one person that was preparing the food, he was completely covered from head to toe, black clothing, but he had kind of like, it looks like gloves you'd use for dishwashing, and then he had a gas mask on. Initially, I thought that was just kind of like he doesn't want to show his face kind of thing. It's probably Darian kind of thing. And then as I looked back on it and looked at what Mr. Singularity had said during that stream, I realized that, maybe that has something to do with the spores. Duh, right? And then whenever I ended up solving the puzzle with the Morse code piece that Mr. Singularity sent, it did really lead to that conclusion and support that idea. So anyways, he was definitely part of whatever that company is that's tied to this cult. I'm so sorry for the noise, guys, but they'll go away soon. Anyways, so yeah, that was really interesting that he chose to. I mean, that we saw a peek of the gas mask, which is obviously helping him not breathe in the spores. So that means they're knowledgeable of what they're doing, right? So, all right, I'm gonna try and I was gonna say stall to see if they're gonna go away anytime soon, but nope, they're right outside my window. So I'm so sorry. All right, let's go ahead and get started if we can. Turn up the volume to the max, and let's do this. Yeah, I guess that's true. I love cooking and I love food, and if it tastes good, it is pleasurable. So it's just an infomercial. But what if you could savor every little detail you could possibly... That right there looks like a circle and a triangle, and that is not even being discreet. That is why we at New Trier Co. have made it so that you may enjoy every single bite you take. Okay. New Trier Co., Mr. Singularity, that was obviously the name of the company that we know created the flavor enhancer, and that was the third part of the puzzle. I couldn't find any anagrams like I mentioned or anything that indicated if there's like a hidden word or a new type of message within that name of the company. But red triangle, black circle. we've seen that multiple times, and seen that imagery all throughout the military officials and other things like that. So this must have a direct tie to, maybe, I'm thinking, the singularity and the monoliths. But we still need to find out. We need to. I'm going to go ahead and document that New Trier. I always thought it was New Trier. New Trier Co. My bad. I'm trying to spice it up a little bit. Was established in 1990. Oh, let's see what you guys are talking about. Flavor enhancer. I know you'd get excited about that.
With our product, the flavor enhancer, you can extract every last morsel of
Just a
taste
dash.
from your plate. With overwhelming demand for this essential.
Wait, what are they eating exactly? Let's see what they're eating. Looks to be like fried chicken-ish stuff with I need to charge my phone. Fried chicken with biscuits. I don't know why the biscuits are like sprinkled with like parsley or whatever, and it looks like maybe gravy. I don't know. The chicken's questionable. I would eat the biscuits. And the gravy, you know that's good, especially with that flavor enhancer. So yeah, he's just
With overwhelming
a little
demand
dash.
for this essential product, even since our start earlier this year, we have delivered what you wanted. Now introducing the flavor enhancer deluxe.
That good old red triangle black circle. That is their sign. Flavor enhancer. That's probably how they spell it in Canada. Just kidding. Canada. 450 G. Okay, that's just how much is in there.
Packaged in a larger size and modified recipe, there is now even
Modified recipe. Thank you.
more savory goodness to go around. Since our debut in
Dang.
mid-1990, the flavor enhancer has shown to be a major hit, with our product flying off the shelves.
Okay, so it's been a huge hit. Major success. Okay, that's not good. That's not good at all. Uh-oh. You seem to not read the title of the doc. The puzzle is uh-oh. I will go back to that then, Mr. Singularity. No doubt about it. Okay. I remember it. Okay. I'll have to look at that. It was like a distorted version of like Puzzle 3 or something like that. That's huge. Thank you for that. I'll definitely take a look at it. I was thinking it was more just minor distortion. I didn't think it was hiding something, so thank you. I'll check it out.
Deluxe will allow us to satisfy your growing tasting needs. Now allowing you to add even more enhancers.
Damn. He sprays. He's not even like he is generously applying that flavor enhancer. It's all over the table and the breaded whatever it is, and he definitely has like a medley of looks like broccoli, carrots, and maybe cauliflower.
Making your food even better to enjoy.
That's obnoxious. That is like literally. I mean, if you think of it, that was actual seasoning, right? After you've cooked your meal, you're putting that much on there. Gosh.
The flavor enhancer deluxe available on shelves.
Real quick, it's available now, right? Apply enhancer below 60 degrees Celsius for optimal flavor. If it is, remember how they mentioned applying the flavor enhancer to the penne, the meal? They gave a certain range of temperature as well. I'm going to write down this one. But the only reason why a temperature would be important is if there was some sort of organic component or a temperature activated thing for like an inert substance that then is activated by temperature. So this further supports the fact that it must be something, possibly the spores, that is they're trying to keep alive and within a certain temperature range. If it exceeds that temperature, funguses or fungi will end up dying. So fungi use spores, so I'm going to assume it's kind of similar. Will they have a certain threshold? I've done videos on The Last of Us and the cordyceps as well, and talked about how global warming and blah 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 kind of ties to all this stuff, and increased adaptability, increased tolerance for temperatures, and how eventually if the climate is forcing the organisms to survive in higher climates, they're going to inherit that trait, and then over time they will end up being able to match or exceed the temperature that our human bodies can generate. So they would then be able to infect us. At this point in time, they really can't because they can't survive our body temperatures. This, to me, follows a similar suit, a similar track. Now, I am 100% like, I can't math in anything other than Fahrenheit. So 60 degrees Celsius, though, seems really high. I'm going to find out what that is. 60 degrees Celsius is probably over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. If I'm doing my little computations here. So let me just go ahead and take this note. We're going to find out how hot that is. Apply enhancer below 60 degrees Celsius. I still think that's pretty generous for optimal flavor. And that's not optimal flavor. What they're referring to be honest, is probably just the fact that you won't kill the spores and they won't be like deactivated. So 60 degrees Celsius. Let's find out how hot that is. Puzzle 3. I will find out what's going on in Puzzle 3 for sure. Let's see. 60 degrees. Yes, I like that. S to F. Whoa, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's really a very hot temperature that you probably wouldn't have anywhere externally. More so, they don't want you to season the food prior to cooking. In most instances, I even mentioned that in the cooking video. I said, why are they seasoning the food after the fact? You know, like normally you just sprinkle a little salt or pepper or something if you just absolutely have to because it's bland. But most cooks, including myself, you would season the food prior and then you heat the food, right? So now it's marinating in it, right? So typically then on a stove or in an oven, you're going to well exceed 140 degrees. So that makes sense as to why they're seasoning the food, you know, post it being cooked. And they always want it to be cooled down a bit, right? So that makes perfect sense. 140 degrees isn't very hot. It's very hot when it comes to climate, but it's not very hot when it comes to cooking temperatures. So that's why they want you to apply it after the fact. That makes a lot of sense. And now we know how much 60 degrees Celsius is. I don't want the mini player. I want the maximum player. Okay. Good, good, good. The enhancer is very heat sensitive. Indeed. It could just be sloppy, like, I don't know about sloppy, but let's say like just not like, you know, a clean cut of the image here. But I see some weird markings here. It could just be the fact that he grabbed this font from another picture or something. I don't really know. And then having just looked at Morse code from Mr. Singularity's thing, is that Morse? I don't know. I don't know how to read it. I know there's like long symbols and short symbols. I would imagine, I don't know, is that long, short, long, short? I don't know. I can't tell, right? Is it Morse code? My mind's reeling thinking about that. Or is it simply just he didn't really cut that out, you know, whenever he took the font, he didn't maybe snip that extra font out that was above it. I don't know. So that's another interesting feature there. It could be that it was cut off, actually. You see how this bottom part looks like it's kind of like it ends abruptly? It could be that he cut it there. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Interesting nonetheless. Ooh, that's loud. That hurts my ear. My ears are sensitive to that kind of noise. Oh, that hurts. Brain. Because that was a strange wind-up kind of noise. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Maybe the signals. Remember that the Singularity and other most of the other creatures, save the meat snakes and really the mimics, they don't seem to interact much with technology. Every other creature, aside from, let's say, well, really that doesn't leave very many then. The crawl, the trimmings, and the monolith for sure interact directly with technology in some way, and the Singularity. The mimics not so much. The meat snakes definitely do not, and the host of influence really doesn't either. He just kills people. So that's interesting. But I'm thinking like, are they receiving a signal and they're like recording, and that's what's telling them, hey, make sure you say this in the message. I don't know. It is not. It's just an edit error. Okay. Okay, I'm over here over analyzing. Good gravy. That actually looks good. That looks like almost like a, oh my gosh. Not what's a soup called? It's not the broccoli soup. It's the one that's got a name, and it's got like potatoes and bacon bits in it. I can't remember the name of it, but that looks delicious. You know, my favorite part is the unironed like cloth behind. That's like so on brand, you know. Hold on. Strange. The hell? So we're getting like some weird interference, which to me is somehow tied to the singularity. The interference, or the singularity, sorry, could emit all kinds of signals, electromagnetic signals, every kind, radiation signatures, all this other stuff. So microwaves. So it can pretty much interfere with all these different frequencies. I feel like obviously that's very, very much intended. That's clearly not an error, but in terms of like that beeping noise, or that really loud like elevating sound that you hear, that's very much so a signal or something that is probably being transmitted from a singularity, maybe even a monolith, that is maybe forcing this cult to, or influencing them, because obviously they worship him willingly, but it's probably making the cult say, hey, make sure you carry out this, these orders here, and do it this way, communicate this message, and that way we can have more control. So something is obviously amiss here, and I don't know why these commercials, we're seeing like these glitched images. There's that piercing sound again. Ugh, those are like the ugliest fish sticks I've ever seen in my life. I heard screaming. I don't like that. I'm actually going to slow that piece down as well. I just want to see. I want to see what we see. Okay, I thought the red item that appeared here was a circle, a red circle, but it's not. It's just a rectangle. Okay, well that's creepy, nonetheless, and I hate that all the same. Bread. Alright, so if you notice, the announcer at pretty much at this point, at 2 minutes and 47 seconds, they get increasingly like, I don't know, it sounds sluggish, or like just not, there's no emotion in it anymore. So, and I don't even know what the term would be, but I don't know, they're just lacking emotion. So their delivery is just really odd now. And that would kind of lend credence to that whole belief that I think that the cult is pushing this agenda, and obviously they're probably getting influenced by it too. No matter how small it seems, just a little more. I mean, and the amounts that they're applying are greater and greater and greater. I mean, that's complete. Like you don't season bread. That's not even toast. It's just a piece of bread, you know, that's odd behavior. Harvester scream, PTSD. Yeah, that terrified me. I did not like that video. Bread. It is crucial to everyday eating. Nothing but a husk. I like that. Emotionless. All right. That's weird. And it's okay, so okay, let me think. What the heck was that? Playback speed. Okay, did I not slow it down? That's really freaking fast. Yikes. That's insane. So at 3 minutes, 12 seconds, we have an image of human hands reaching for an elevated, flavor enhancer, almost as if they're worshiping it. They require it. They need it, and they're just going crazy. They're losing themselves just to consume it. You hear the message saying, "We need the flavor enhancer," and again, it's that drone, like motionless, emotionless kind of like delivery, where they seem to kind of not be themselves. That is creepy. So hands reaching for flavor enhancer. That is insane. I'm actually going to screen print this because I feel like that's important. It was a really quick flashing image. I thought it was something entirely different until I saw it there. Let's see. Oh, I was messing around before stream. I was trying to enhance this particular image and see. A lot of times when there's just a black border, there's always something in there, but I couldn't find any way to enhance it or the contrast to find a message in there, so that sucked. But I was just, kind of wasting time before the stream. What did I just do? But anyways, I didn't. It was fruitless. A fruitless effort. I didn't find anything. That is creepy. Obviously, this is some sort of mind control type agenda, and it's very apparent at this point. Vita Carnis. To me, that is a hidden message. Not only that, but the manner in which the flavor enhancer was appearing on screen and off screen, I don't know Morse code very well, but it was very reminiscent of that. It was like appearing, and then it's disappearing, and it's like in a certain cadence that to me indicates Morse code. I don't know how to read Morse code or interpret it. I've never had training in that, nor have I ever attempted to. But it's something that it would definitely warrant me looking into, because the manner in which it was appearing and disappearing, and the fact that I did Morse code puzzle right before this, everything is leaning in that direction. So I don't know. That's very odd, and it was a very interesting choice. And it just kind of, again, how it just blinks on and off screen like that. Triangle. Oh my gosh. That was a triangle. Buy now. Available now. Buy now. I saw the black circle. Yeah, that's creepy, guys. Flavor enhancer. Morse code is just noise to me. Can't understand it at all. I try and pick up like the cadence. Like it's like a lot of times like doo, 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 doo. Like it's like long noises and short noises. That's how I always see those little symbols, like a period looking symbol and like a little line, and that however the little combinations add up, they somehow create or translate to letters or words, and so I don't understand it. I've never actually tried to, but it's something that obviously is very common, and they used it a lot during some of the earlier world wars and stuff too, and it's still very common to use. It's kind of like a way, it's easily interceptable and stuff, but at the same time you can even further encrypt it, so you can have like your own ciphered kind of language, and then you're using it translated to Morse code, so it still becomes kind of difficult to hear. But I don't know, it's a weird one. Definitely a weird one, and I'm not entirely sure if that was Morse code. I don't know. It very well could be. I need my page, my prints page. There it is. I would say, don't do this to me, Darian. Don't do it. Yarg, mateys, I missed. There it is. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I see the prince. He's got the symbol already. Is that the symbol of his kingdom? The prince gathered what he could and then set sail onward. Once the prince returns home, they will come back to the island and return to the critters. So the prince gathered what he could and set sail onward. Once the prince returns home, they'll come back to the island and return to the critters. So maybe now that he's been healed, he's going to return to his people, if we can use that term, because now I'm starting to think extraterrestrial type stuff. But if that he returns home, he's then going to say, hey fam, met these critters, they need some help, let's use our power of the kingdom and make it right. Oh my gosh, that gave me chills, man. That's where the symbol comes from. 100%. Which means we're screwed. We're totally screwed. So if that's where the symbol originated from, the actual prince himself, that is the symbol of his people. And it's very likely 13, okay. It's very likely that when he returns, you know, the idea of helping out a lesser developed people is probably not going to pan out the way the critters are thinking. So I have no clue. Is the prince benevolent or not? I'm starting to think not. I'm starting to think now there's definitely something else going on here. And the fact that that's the symbol of his people, and if that's somehow in our history, it doesn't make it seem like it's very human. Like maybe he's not human. Maybe he's extraterrestrial. And maybe that kind of explains why the ship that he was out of didn't seem like a ship. You know, if there's a prince or whatever, that'd be kind of either a long, long time ago or, you know, modern times, but they wouldn't have magical abilities. And so it starts making me think that maybe they weren't actually human to begin with, or the prince wasn't human to begin with. That's interesting. We're going to go ahead and save this down. That is really cool. Huge development there. Now we know the symbol didn't originate from the cult itself. It's something that the cult found and then said, oh my gosh, this is the person, the entity we need to worship. So he created that symbol. So that must mean he knows. And you know, the funny thing, real quick, is that the magic that he utilized right here, I'll maximize this. It's, to me, like an orb, right? Did it start off black and then turn red, and then the symbol that was red became a triangle, and that's how these people interpreted it, or what? You know, he is wearing like human type clothing, and it looks like something that would have been, again, a while back, like I don't know, medieval, but you know, definitely an older time. But are they seeing that as the singularity, or what are they seeing there? And I don't know. There's so many questions in my mind right now. But that was freaking awesome. That was a huge development there. Let's see if there's anything else, and then we'll check on chat. We'll go full speed here. He's probably just going to say, more to come, like he does normally. Yep, this the basic stuff there. Wow, okay. Huge.
When you draw on a whiteboard, no one sees it. With Miro, you plan together in real time, literally.
Okay. Alright, so now we've got the tape for the uncovered documents. Let's go ahead and check on chat, see what you guys are talking about. The final two may give some important information. Oh, nice. Knight of Blackfire says... Hold on. Oh, man, I missed a bunch of stuff. I saw the same smiley face. Morse code's just noise to me. Smiley face. Oh, that's the book page I was talking about last stream. Very nice. Red triangle, black circle. Red triangle, black circle. All day, man. It all came to realization. It's come full circle. No pun intended now. Which is awesome. Here's my Streamlabs bot spamming you guys. Follow. Flavor enhancer, follow. Flavor enhancer, follow. With this is the furthest I've gotten in the series. I'll say this prince does seem benevolent, but we don't know about the kingdom. I agree with that. That actually makes sense. I mean, he didn't harm them. He has powers. He could have done something to defend himself or attack them if he felt threatened. he actually said, "Hey, with the power within me and my kingdom, we'll save them. We'll save y'all, right? We shall save the critters." So yeah, I agree with that. Mr. Singularity says, smiley face, the final two may give some important information. I had skipped all your guys' insight because I'm a jerk. All right, next video. Oh, you know what? Darn it. I'm sorry, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I have to get the timestamp for that. I'm sorry. Because I've been taking notes of where all the images are located. So, okay, so 336. 336, we have Prince sailing with flag containing the symbol of red triangle, black circle. That is terrifying. Black circle. I love it. All right, cool. Now we've got the next tape. This is called Tape Uncovered Documents. Remember, there was really only one classified document that was able to be retrieved from officials, because everything else was just confidential or just hidden or in some way just inaccessible to everybody else. So now let's jump into this tape, and we'll see what this has to hide for us, as well as the final message from Vita Carnis. A father. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, that's attractive. No captions. Okay, I was going to turn on captions. My apologies. Quit calling me. I'm streaming. Okay, we have, looks like ants. Honeypot ants. No, I'm just kidding. Those aren't honeypot ants. I don't think. They're just regular. New flavor enhancer deluxe, newly rebranded product from Nutri & Co. is an instant hit with record sales. Okay. Confidential info. Files confiscated or not released to the public. All right, taking notes, sorry. Ugh. Now, the ant imagery to me is not accidental. It's not just to be gross, I don't think. If you think about an ant colony or how they live, you know, obviously they all receive direction from like a leader, right? And maybe when you think of the Vita Carnis species as more of like a hive mind that's combined and connected in some larger way, as opposed to individual organisms that just happen to be, you know, somehow, you know, impacting our society on different levels. We have some that are just nuisances, like pests, like the trimmings. Then we have others that are natural predators, like the mimics. And even the hosts of influence. We have all these creatures that we're just saying, yeah, they exist. We know a little bit about them, and they don't seem to be too bad, save for these 2 or 3 species. As long as you avoid them, you know, we're fine. Looking at all that, you know, if they're larger connected species that all seem to branch off from the crawl, that then means that they're connected in some way, in a way that much like a fungus is, or much like a different type of species that can communicate and has an agenda of its own, and it's not a human type of agenda. It doesn't care about our plans. It's only trying to propagate its own existence. So, with that kind of being said, I think the ants, maybe they're kind of alluding to the fact that the Vita Carnis is a hive mind type species, and in order to, you know, be the dominant species permanently, maybe it has to assimilate us, because we're the next biggest threat to them, right? So maybe by incorporating the usage of the spores and the people getting infected by them, maybe that's the best way for them to control us. You know, kind of like Happy Meat Farms, they said, well, you don't want to rule them by force. We want them to do it willingly. Well, in this instance, you know, maybe instead of just brute force, they're using, you know, better, you know, more tactical types of of ways to infiltrate our kind and then further infect the masses so that there can't be anything done, you know? So, I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but maybe that's what's happening. Nutriri scandal already. Alright, this says Nutrier scandal. Nutrier Co. is facing charges after numerous reports of sickness after consumption of their product, the flavor enhancer. Only statements made from the company so far are dismissing any issues and that their product is safe to consume. Okay, so there's Nutrier scandal. Let's see. Numerous reports of sickness after consuming the flavor enhancer. This is probably why they came out with the flavor enhancer deluxe, because they said, oh, rebranded, or maybe it's just bigger because they want you to consume more. Flavor enhancer. I'll just put FE for short. Just making sure no image there. We got our bro once again with the red triangle, black circle. This is a much more clear image. It's pretty interesting to see. So we have this, I'll call it a military official maybe, or just an official in general, maybe a government official with pin. And the pin, of course, is a red triangle and black circle. So maybe what happened a long time ago with the prince is that when he went back to the kingdom, said, hey, we've got these critters, they're having food shortages, I'd like to help them. I said I would help them. They say, sure, as long as we do it our way. And maybe this royal family of his ended up, wanting to control and dominate this lesser species. And over time, as the whole royal, like that whole kind of government type of style faded away, they ended up infiltrating in all kinds of positions of power and authoritative positions so that they can continue pushing forward their agenda. So obviously they're tied to the Vita Carnis in some way because they're the ones that originated it. They have the same abilities to influence these creatures. So maybe by having them spread across all the different countries, they're able to exert their influence from a political and every other kind of standpoint as well. Pretty much exerting full control. Let's see. Knight of Blackfire says, they said a modified recipe as well as in the flavor deluxe. They sure did. Mr. Singularity says Vincent Barrere. Vincent was the individual that was wanted, actually, the Canadian man that was it was wanted for, I forget what, but he was on one of the channels as we're flipping through to watch the food documentary, or the how-to. Let's see what that was. That was weird. I think it just zoomed in. Yeah, zoomed in on that. Very clear. Looks like a Canadian flag, like a maple leaf. I'm assuming that's saying, hey, we're Canadian, really hard. I don't know. Oh, gosh. So I see the red triangle, obviously. But just wanting to see. Now, I'll talk about this ant position in just one moment. Yeah, it's just zooming in. We know that's bad. Red triangle, black circle. It's a terrible thing. This right here, I'm sorry that I'm pausing every 5 seconds. The only reason why is because this reminds me of a position that an ant takes that's been infected by fungus. So, not specifically, I don't think cordyceps necessarily. Actually, it is. Cordyceps is one of many. There are certain types of a whole species of fungi that can infect a host, and then what they do is they pretty much pump in all these neurotransmitters, which is chemicals in your brain that can help exert control, right? So what happens is they pretty much do that, and they force the ant to usually climb up on a stalk of a plant. And then depending on the species, there's one that starts from literally from snail slime, and ants go crazy over that. And then they eat that, they climb on the plant. Then they do a little handstand so that the birds then eat them. And then they go into the bird system, and that's how then they're able to start their cycle anew. It's incredible how it's all tied together, but for whatever reason, because we've been talking about fungus and spores and cordyceps and The Last of Us and all that stuff, I thought it was interesting to mention that kind of reminds me of the position they're going to take before they start sprouting the fungus, or in the instance where they continue their cycle, where they do a little handstand so they can easily be eaten by predators and continue their little cycle of, like, you know, reproduction. So really neat stuff. The maple leaf is the rank of general. Okay. Oh. So he is a high-ranking dude, and we saw the other individual almost looking like dressed up, almost like what I would assume like a president type. And no jump scares for me. I saw little hands everywhere. This is the cult right here. But this is the descendants of the original cult, I'm assuming. And his hands. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, nothing big there. Not sure. This looks like a plant, but if it's zoomed in, if it's like a microscopic image, it could be something entirely different. Though that looks like the mycelium of like a fungus, like the little stringy parts. I'm not entirely sure. What is that? A butterfly? It's a butterfly. Okay, this is probably what happens when you are infected. I don't think these little growths here are normal. That doesn't look normal to me. Everything else looks about right. But that looks funny. That's probably a petri dish where they're examining the spores. So this would be the flavor enhancer right here. That would be the spores that are probably emitted from the host, I'm assuming. And then they zoomed in, and you can see the little structures here. You zoomed in even further, and you can see now there's like cellular stuff going on. So it's definitely organic. It's alive. I just don't want to jump scare. I'm like just dreading that. Oh, that's hard to see. Carcass. That's what I see. Carcass conflicts with nation. I apologize, but I'm blind as a bat. So we're going to check this out here. And we're going to up the brightness so your boy can see. Carcass conflicts with nation, I guess. Let me take some notes. A petri dish with spores. And then we have... See, it looks like Carcass, right? C.A.R.C. Who would name their affiliate? And that's a very dark name. Conflicts with nation, I'm assuming. The private organization of Containment and Research Consult Association Society, that's the cult, has been experiencing backlash from government agencies about cooperation and violation of newly introduced policies. Carcass conflicts. So this is the Containment and Research Consult Association Society. It's a private organization. You always got to question private organizations because they're all evil mostly. So it's probably, I'm going to put question mark. Is it the cult? I think it is. I think it might be. And what a wonderful name, right? Carcass, right? Obviously, we know Vita Carnis has a lot to do with the consumption of carrion, rotting flesh, things like that. It almost fits perfectly that something like that, named Carcass, which again, dead, that means like a dead body, would be associated with what I believe is to be the cult that's fronting as a private organization. So, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty strong evidence in my opinion. Let's see what chat's doing. Life, birth, and entropy. The circle of life. Please don't jump scare. I'm just afraid of a mimic getting to just pop out. A new log. Uh-oh. Message to Carcass. Let's see what this message is all about. Commercial.
You get your next big idea?
Grammarly? Really?
Sparkly ketchup.
Let's see. Maybe we should make sparkly ketchup. Let's make sparkly ketchup. That's much better.
Lily's total suggestions can help you
Wow.
build confidence to get your team on board.
Do you see her email?
Already calling vendors.
I'm intrigued. I need to get that right now. December 30th, 1990. 1990. Wait. We missed the message. Okay, so is this a new video? This is the message. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me I completely messed it up. My bad. I didn't know that it transitioned to a new video. The ad was because we had completed the previous one. My bad. I'm sorry. So this is the message. The message that was apparently to the Carcass group, and it was sent on December 30th, 1990. Okay. I completely threw me off. Sorry. That is just insane to see, man. The monolith. That's incredible.
Distant horizon.
Let's turn the captions on.
The group of monoliths stand vacant. Although closed off to outsiders, their stance can be observed well outside the perimeter.
Okay. So this is a video about the monoliths. We see footage of monoliths.
It is known to have hundreds of thousands of fibers that weave themselves deep underground.
Now we know this. This is the same information we received from the Living Meat Institute, where they had told us that these things are, I think, 100. I mean, they're massive. They're maybe 100 meters or even longer or taller. So I mean, they're just incredibly huge. But they don't move too much. But they can regenerate very quickly as well. The government actually tried to attack them, and when they found that they just quickly recovered and repaired themselves, they ended up just putting a perimeter around the circle that they had formed and just closed it off to the public.
All connected in a grand mycelial network.
There you go. So that's what we're going to do. Connected in mycelial network. You've heard me mention mycelia, or mycelium is one, mycelia is multiple or plural, many times, because I associated the crawl with a fungus type network, a root system, if you will, that's somehow all connected together. What? You might be confused as to why you have received this package. Is that literally like a rib cage, bro? That's unnecessary. Unnecessary. Common goal. Okay. That's a clearer image of the conflicts that Carcass was having with the other authorities or government agencies. Okay. I am aware that you study the Carnis and research their properties. Something isn't as it seems. Is that Vincent maybe masking his voice so he doesn't get harmed? Or is Vincent the one that did the documentary? These are all of the same articles that we've now read in such a clear image now. Much clearer than what we saw in the previous videos. Grady siblings tape. Christopher Grady. That's why he said grody and grizzly all the time, right? Scientist found dead. Something about... Oh, yeah, this is the one where they mentioned it was a Kermit. He did a Kermit. So this is tied to that one tape we saw with the Mimic. Mimic Defense of 86. Probably was born from this incident. Authorities refused to handle the harvester. Okay. Something arrested for releasing documentary. A group of students released a nature documentary about the Carnis species, which was seized by authorities. The group, called the National Living Meat Research, had included various accounts of sensitive material and defamation. Officials have arrested some of the suspects while the outside sources are still at large. The students claimed that they were simply working on the project for fun and didn't know about the extra material. The extra material that we saw. I guess I can remove these because they're actually... No. Okay. Because he already captioned it for us. The frontal lobe. So F lobe is I can explain this quite well. I was going to be a doctor once upon a time. Now I'm a YouTuber. So F lobe is just frontal lobe. It says F lobe deterioration. This is important, and I'm going to just take a quick note. F lobe deterioration. The way your brain works is obviously it's set up into different groups. Each group of or each section of your brain kind of manages a primary function, and then of course all of it works together. But when it comes to the frontal lobe is it's called your prefrontal cortex in particular. That's where your judgment center and your ability to make decisions and things like that is located. So in the event you have damage to your frontal lobe, your ability to make sound judgment or even make decisions and even carry out certain motor functions is going to be inhibited significantly. So you're not going to be able to be so able to freely think. You're going to be a little slower, and then physically you're not going to be able to move and react as quickly, which to me this makes it seem as if the spores would obviously have some sort of impact on that center for you to be able to willingly expose your organs to them, because naturally you have defense mechanisms that want you to cover those parts when you're in danger. That's why a lot of times you take the fetal position or you just run away. For the spores to make you just expose yourself and be like, yeah, eat my organs, bro. That means it's definitely impacting your judgment center, and specifically your prefrontal cortex, in a negative way, and it's making it to where it's able to manipulate your behavior against what's the norm. So that's what the F lobe deterioration is kind of referring to. Night of Blackfire says, man, I love getting 2 unskippable ads on a live stream. Oh no, you haven't missed anything about me rambling other than the frontal lobe. And they were just kind of saying that right before this we also learned that I guess the students who had been responsible for creating the documentary, they had actually been arrested and confronted because they're saying, hey, you're sharing information that's confidential, and that this is unacceptable. You're saying all this defamation accounts, things like that, and they're saying, no, we didn't even know that footage was altered. We're just doing the project for fun. So the National Living Meat Research Institute, or whatever it's called, that one was done by students, and they tend to have some information and that they put in that's secret. We don't know if they actually did it intentionally or if the footage was tampered with, but they did get in trouble. And Other than that, though, I was just talking about this picture here. It said F lobe deterioration. I wasn't sure if everyone knew what that was, but I was talking about the frontal lobe. That's where your judgment center is. When it's deteriorated or impacted negatively in any way, it's hard for you to make decisions. You have cloudy judgment, and you just have less motor coordination or motor skill functioning as well. So, the hostesses. All right, back to it. We've seen all of these articles. The flavor enhancer commercials. Whoever's talking, it's probably Vincent, right? Could very well be Vincent Barrere. In either way, whoever's masking or disguising their voice, they're talking to someone else who's received the message and said, hey, there's something going on here. I know that you know because you've been doing research of it, and here's what we need to find out. Now, initially, we saw that this was a message to Carnis, but I still need to piece that together, because from outwardly, if I'm just watching this, it seems like it's someone that's kind of inside or knowledgeable, like say, let's call it a conspiracy theorist guy, talking to maybe the children or the kids that were doing the National Living Meat, Research Institute project, the documentary, if you will. That's what it seems like to me outwardly without going in. But I do remember they're saying, hey, a message log, and this is to Carnis. So are the people from Carnis making the video of the documentary, or how exactly that ties? I got to piece it together once I kind of, see it all. The hosts. Moving to island. Yep. We've seen all those articles so far. Mimic, Christopher Grady, Janice Grady. The documents included with this tape is all the information I've gathered. And somehow all of these clippings made it into the documentaries, which makes me think that this person sent this to the people that are doing the documentaries. They started inputting it, or, putting it in their footage. If this is the intended audience, I don't know if the audience who's receiving this message are the students, or if it's some people from Carnis, or if they're one and the same. Cult gathering pandemic. So that's huge. This is a new clipping right here. A cult gathering pandemic. That's one of the few we have yet to see. And that's the cult right there. Yep, they all lead to that island. Crawl not palatable. Even though we see him cooking it. Trimming lifespan. Okay. That's the singularity thing again. But let's take a look. That image was really strange. Oh, okay. It's just, that's the singularity. It's a pin. It's pinned up there. Uh-oh. Okay, so apparently this person that has this information that's got a feeling, hey, this is all the information I've collected. Something's going on. I don't have the power to change it. You do. Okay, so all of this information has somehow culminated to some great gathering and some meeting of great importance. That's huge. So, great cult gathering. That's huge. A meeting of great importance. Oh, it's cult gathering pandemic. My bad. Cult gathering pandemic. That's even better. All right. Monolith EMP matching. Okay. We saw the radio article already. Circling back to the Nutrier Co. The island of my Discord may be helped with. Okay, excellent. Poor Vincent, father of two and a lone widow. Oh, Vincent Barrera must have been the surviving individual from the Harvester attack, and maybe after his, his experience, and when the government refused to help him, he went straight conspiracy theory mode. Okay, just looking. That was the red triangle, black circle. This is good. This is so good. Whoa, monoliths. So in like the monolith footage, he's like, "Oh hey, here's the some information about the monolith." He tampered with the footage, obviously, to include his secret message.
Monoliths are truly an astonishing sight to behold.
The monoliths are a truly amazing sight to behold. Nothing yet, just a bunch of tampered imagery. I did not see a picture there. I'm going to let it play through, and then I'm going to see if I might have missed one. I didn't see it there. I'll have to slow it down, I guess. No! What's going on? Quit forcing me to watch these other videos I don't want to watch. We're going to go back. Okay, that's where. Sounds like ripping page. Sounds like you're ripping out a page of paper. When we remove those, we're going to go playback speed 0.25, baby. Let's go. Let's see. You may want to see the Discord while streaming to show the lore discussion channel. The last page ripped. Exactly. That was the last page of the book. And maybe there won't be a page. And that's what we need. Okay, so let's see. The island on my Discord might help with that. You may want to see the Discord while streaming to show the lore discussion channel. Okay. And then we can also look at that puzzle number 3 again. So pretty much at 3 minutes and 4 seconds, we see the final page being ripped. Let me turn that down. That's killing my entire ear. 3 minutes and 6 seconds specifically. Final page being ripped. There it is. Okay, I'm content with that. That's the extent of what we're going to see, I'm sure. Now, let's see. I wonder if I can go to your channel from here. We'll do this. There was nothing more we could see there. So here we have on the About Me, got Puzzle 1, Puzzle 2, Puzzle 3. I don't see anything. PZL. I'm trying to see if there's anything. It's just every other word is... Every other letter is... Oh, what does this mean? Red triangle, black circle. Well, this is the thing we just did. So I grabbed it, I placed it into the Morse code, and it said new trier co. What does this mean? Red triangle, black circle, new trier co. That's what they mean. That is who they are, anyways. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Close. Go back here. I'm pretty sure I already entered it. Oh, hopefully. I don't remember how to. I should already be in it. Let me see. Okay, yay! Lore discussion. Alright, here's where we are. The last page ripped. Now we're looking at puzzle 4. Oh, maybe, right? This is whenever Darian actually came up to the stream. I didn't even realize it was him. And he said he was talking about the hosts of influence. They also eat animals. That was so cool. These are just images of the globe. This is the map. We see the convergence of all of the harvesters coming to this island here. I'm assuming that's probably a picture of a harvester. It's really hard to tell. If anything, we might need to enhance that. And we got our little guy here. I love that. Hudson Bay. There you go. Love it. Click to see the attachment. You know, I must be stupid because I still don't see. Let me pull it up. Darian. This wouldn't be a bad one to open up and watch anyway. So let's see. Because it had a picture of the map as well. Oh, pizza. That pizza looks disgusting, but pizza in general sounds delish. Trying to think of our bro, like the one that had the good image of the map. You know what? Actually, there was a better. This right here. This had like the very best map footage. Bruh, I guess not letting me. Is there like an ad you're trying to spam me with, YouTube? Okay, I just need a clear picture, please. One of the next image will be clear if I remember correctly. And all I want to do is compare the two right next to each other, so. I do not want to hear that terrible noise, so I'm muting that instantly. Immediately. Just want a clear image, bro. There you go. Thank goodness. Alright, now that we're freaking here, now I can go ahead and pop open this bad boy. Where's the Discord? Right here. Okay. This is that little deal. There's no map. There's no Hudson. There's this giant land mass right here that's just simply not there. This is none of it. No, that's that Coral Harbor is right here. Coates Island is right here. None of these other the Belcher Islands are right here. James Bay is right here. Michael Bay is working on Transformers. And then Hudson Bay is this entire area right here. There is a landmass there that's simply not on a real map. It's not there. Unless I'm just crazy and I don't know how to read maps. There is no map. So is it underwater? Is he literally like underground? What you know? I don't know. I'm lost. Confused. Anyways, so looking at those two, no, it does not seem like they are in the same area. I mean, it certainly seems like it's not on the map. Something missing, you bet. Something is certainly missing. That giant landmass. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. That does help a lot. Clearly there's something that we are unable to see that is present. A whole landmass, a whole island that's just gone missing. So I like that. Let me see where we're. Vita Carnis right here. Let's just make sure there isn't anything else. Knight of Blackfire says, no, you're seeing the map correctly. It's just missing from real maps. Or is it? Okay, cool. We couldn't find anything here. Let's see, video. So there's 22 videos, and I think there are 16 in the playlist. The rest should be, let's see, 16. Okay, the speed, yeah, so these are not part of the ARG. So we've seen all of the videos that we need to see then. These are just the painting things and other things before he actually did his little ARG, so. Wow, okay, so there's just a lot to unpack there, man. So, as far as I see it, as far as I can understand anyways, it looks like, oh, Puzzle 4 is free to explore. I'll take a look at it. It looks like there's two possibilities, and to me it does seem like it's no. I don't think it's extraterrestrial anymore. I don't believe that's maybe not the case. I thought for one instance, option one, which was now the one I was leaning towards earlier in the video, was that you had this creature that can, that has the ability to use magic and has powers. He's injured. One of the things that just made me kind of just think that this is odd is that in the image where he's in the ship, and it's been a shipwreck. See if I can find that thing right here. I'll enhance it. This is a ship. Now this is obviously kind of like the old English type font, but this is a modern looking ship to me, and it looks like it has lights and everything else. Looks like not like a a ship that would have masts and whatever. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like almost like a steamer, or like a tank, whatever you call them, steamboat, whatever. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the lights are weird. But this is the bro right here. His little eyes on his hand, like he's like, oh. That's when he got injured and found himself in the cave. Initially, I was thinking, I forgot about this particular image, but I was thinking, okay, maybe like he's an alien, crash landed, right? That's why it was a ship, right? Crash landed. And then he gets stuck on Earth, whatever else. He has the ability to heal. The critters that he's referring to might be primitive humans that are just foragers, and they're trying to survive. These humans are starving. They realize this dude has magic and powers beyond their imagination. And maybe at that point they help him get healthy again. And then at this point we're like, oh, maybe he can help us. And with our issues, and because he has all these powers, he opts to help them. But the thing is, when he woke up, he had what I would assume to be like human-like clothing. Even here, he's got very human-like clothing. It doesn't look like anything that would be indicative of him being an alien or anything like that. So that doesn't make too much sense. So I was thinking about that alien theory. Oh, he's an advanced human. These critters are just he's an advanced alien. These are humans. They're just like, to him, they're just little critters. That's why it's written from the perspective of maybe the critters. From the prince, right? Like, who are these little, undeveloped beings? But anyways, I was thinking that was the route, right? It's an alien, crash landed. He has powers. The people, which are like primitive humans, need help to advance their society because they're foraging and they're starving. And that, exactly, it is European clothing. So my thought process was, okay, it's an alien, and that's why he has these powers. That maybe it's not powers, it's just technology we can't fathom, and we say it's magic because we don't understand it. And then he went back to the kingdom, which is whatever, his alien family in space, and then comes back, and now in the 1930s you have this crazy species, right? It took him so long to come back. Boom, he's back, whatever. I don't know. That was my initial thought. After today, my original thought, though, since I've been watching the series, was yes, there was this prince that did have magic. So this royal family had magic, and maybe they lived long before, and they were just kind of left out of the history book, so to speak. But they did have these magical abilities, and for some reason, he just had the ability to do magic. And they were on a ship. They did crash. And these critters might just be something more like, instead of humans, primitive humans, maybe the critters were just like representation of like nature, like maybe just somehow, whatever, that he was taken care of by this nature while he was sleeping, or maybe he just dreamt it or whatever. Wakes up, and then he returns home, and then before you know it, maybe his family is not as benevolent as he is, just like the Knight of Blackfire said. And from that point forward, when he returned and he created these beings and they started coming out, At this point in time, many years had passed, and the royal family had now been kind of reduced to a cult that was operating behind the scenes, where they still had the power and the influence over the Vita Carnis. And maybe with that, they have the ability to then exert their influence over like the masses by instilling fear, destroying communication systems, as we've seen, etc. But clearly, the people that wear the emblem of the same emblem that the prince had on his flag, the red triangle, black circle, maybe that's indicative or representative of not only what their original ties are to the prince and their kingdom, but now that's what they worship, and that's how their sign of like control, right? Maybe the monoliths, as they've come, are surrounding or trying to they're all trying to converge on this island, and maybe that's because that's where the prince returned. You know, maybe that's where the kingdom and the prince returned to help the critters, and that's the site, ground zero of where everything happened. I don't know. I'm starting to think more of the magic timeline versus aliens. I'm not thinking so much aliens. But the only thing that throws me off are the critters. Like, if it's not aliens, if the prince is not an alien, and the critters are not primitive humans, and let's just say the prince is something of a human, demi-human, demigod, whatever he is, he has powers. What were the critters, The critters in some way have to be something that he was trying to help, and they seem to communicate. So it makes me think that maybe, I don't know, I'm very torn. Is it extraterrestrial? Is it not? If it's magic and not aliens, who are the critters, right? The boy looks very human to me, and he even has like Knight of Black Fire, European clothing, so I don't know. Crane says, sorry I left, what's going on? Pretty much I'm just recapping my theories. If it's extraterrestrial in nature, the critters would be primitive humans. If it's not extraterrestrial, then the prince is something of a human that can use magic, but whatever is going on with these people, maybe the critters that he's referring to, I don't know what that would be. If it's not symbolic of just nature, I mean, obviously like a deer or a rabbit didn't go and feed him berries. Something was feeding him while he was asleep to help him heal and then motivate him and encourage him to repay them and help these people. So I don't know. And then if it is magic, is it like demon or demonic type stuff tied to it? Because typically magic's associated with evil. So was he part of like an evil organization or a cult already? He had these powers, and then his family obviously had other intentions with their powers, and they wanted to exert power and dominance. And maybe the boy was just young and he had the ability to cast powers or whatever, but didn't really care for that kind of stuff. And he wanted to help people that helped him. So maybe that's, maybe it's demonic in nature, and these things are trying to, I don't know, it's like a spiritual type thing. I don't know. I mean, those are the only possibilities I could potentially think of. The Knight of Blackfire says, the first page says his family are both royalty and explorers. See, I mean, because if you think about it, if it's depending on which perspective it's written from, it could be that they're aliens, or they explore, or are they simply royalty in the human sense, and they're exploring the lands in the human sense, right? Or are they exploring space and they found Earth? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of loosely. It could be interpreted in both ways, because there's, other than the imagery, which we see the drawings, they look human. But then what are the critters? The critters are literally the key to it. Because if we understand what the critters are, then we will find out entirely what everything else is. If the critters are not human, then what are they? If the critters are human, are they primitive humans or what? Who wrote the book? What perspective is it from? And who are the critters? If we can answer those two questions, who wrote the book? Well, who wrote the book? So then what perspective? And what are the critters? Those three are going to give us everything we need. Mr. Singularity says, the red triangle, black circle council has a person in it. It does seem to have multiple people in it. Crane says K. If I remember right, the page with the ship says he was pushed off the ship. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, while I have all these images, let's take a look. This is wonderful. Oh. Royal family, blah, blah, and push the prince out into the sea? That's weird. So let's find. So my images aren't the best in the world. They're just the ones I could find. You said that they're on the documentary page, so in the comments, let's go to the comments real quick, and then we're going to revisit Mr. Singularity's fourth puzzle. I don't want to go into... Let's see. I said I don't want to go into the viewing order playlist, but I guess I probably should. Actually, I'll know exactly which video it's in because I took timestamps of every single one. Vita Carnis. Alright, so video number 1 with the crawl, 4:30 and 5:22 doesn't really say much. The trimming video. Oh, I didn't even write what it was. So the trimming video has something at 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So let's find that one real quick. You know what? I am going to use this stupid viewing order because I need to be able to see it quicker. Trimming. So 2 minutes 37 seconds. We have something that I forgot to notate for whatever reason. That thing is ugly. That's the one. Okay. So that's the one where he's being pushed. Let's see. Print. Stuck in C. Okay. So I'm going to read the comments, then it should say it, right? Is what you're saying? If I remember right, blah, 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 he was pushed off the ship. Why? If I remember, someone posted what they said in the documentary video comments. And the documentary video... Okay. Should be near the top. Okay. Let's find it. I don't want to read too much because a lot of these people do their own theories, and I don't want to, like... Not only do I want to not get spoiled, one, but I also don't want to, like, be influenced by their ideas that much. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this guy might be it. Oh, this is all I got for this one. Estimated 400 plus trimmings. Yeah, no. Oh, the big documentary video? Oh, here it is. Look right here. During the travels on one of their expeditions, a great storm struck. It was so powerful it swayed the boat the royal family probably was in and pushed the prince out into the sea. Okay. During an expedition. Well, if they're aliens, they wouldn't be traveling by sea, right? That is interesting. Okay, well now we know that it looks like he wasn't pushed out to sea by the family. It seems like the elements pushed him out. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like he got knocked out or knocked over or whatever. Like it doesn't seem to me that they actually pushed him out. That would be really crappy if they did. The way I'm reading it is that they were all together on expedition, bad storm, and then boom, he gets pushed out to sea. You know, like I'm thinking that is kind of what happened there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at Mishta singularity. It's so hard to spell in German. You know what? I don't have to because I can copy and paste. The big document video is all the little ones put together. Oh, okay, yeah, I can look at it. This includes the pages. Okay, I will do that. In just 1 second then. Let's see. The big one is this little guy. I'm looking to see. Life has thrived for bajillions of years. Maybe it's one of these. No. I don't see anything yet. Sorry for me being quiet. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that breaks out all the pages. If not, Knight of Blackfire is referring to the fact that maybe like there's a whole slew of pages all at once. Mass trimming, infestation, weird poster. No. There are tons of comments here, and I'm trying to not. If I don't see anything that's like, you know, quoting something, I'm like, I don't want to see. I don't want to see their. I don't want to get influenced by these ideas because it could mess with my judgment. Let's see. This is, he's breaking some of it down. I don't see. Yeah, it probably got buried in the comments. No worries. No worries. Yeah, we're way down here too. We'll look for a few seconds longer to see if there's anything that kind of translates all of these. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to find. But if not, what we can do is we can jump into the fourth puzzle for Mr. Singularity, and then we'll kind of wrap this one up. And also, guys, let me do something real quick. If you haven't already, I don't even know if you guys can see this very first comment. I don't know how like that works, but let's see. I can't even copy it. Copy link address. You guys should vote for what analog horror we want to see next time. I posted another image in the lore discussion. You can look. Okay, cool. I'll take a look at it right now. Actually, let's see. I don't see anything. There's so many comments. I don't want to waste your guys' time. So instead, we're gonna do. Open this back up. Copy your name because I cannot write in German just yet. I'm gonna go here. Look at puzzle 4 really quickly. What is this? Close this bad boy out. Puzzle 4. Sweet. So this is a father. And what I've been doing with these is I've just been popping them in here in this Morse code translator. Whoops. And if it gives you something weird like this, I just go to the Caesar cipher. The first one we got says the bay holds the circle that is where the redacted is. Now if I do this, I'll delete that. Brute force decryption, baby. And I don't know, this may or may not be correct, but I try to do it with the Caesar cipher. Vincent Barrera, yep. That's the very first hit that we get for that. So Vincent Barrera must be the individual that was communicating or had delivered that message secretly to whoever, whether it be the Carnis people, whoever he was trying to communicate to try and get knowledge out there that there's a huge meeting about to take place, a convergence of all these harvesters and Vita Carnis creatures. So that's huge. That is huge. Thank you for that, Mr. Singularity. And then we'll go to the, let's see. Damn it. I did something today. I deleted some of my favorites on accident, and I got rid of my own Discord thing. I guess it's here, but I completely forgot how to find it. Oh, this guy. So we got this guy. This is more. I like that. That's funny. So yeah, interesting. Something that we'll have to definitely research a little more possibly off stream. Now, one thing that I did want to mention is that obviously, as far as I am concerned, this is kind of where this one stops for now. Much like with Happy Meat Farms, how it ended, where we essentially need to be trying to find a way into the IT department. This is one where now I think we're just waiting for the convergence. The last video that he posted was about a month ago, so it's possible that he's still trying to find a way to put it all together or to help us understand, what the convergence is going to result in or something like that. So it's really exciting. But anyways, oh, cool. You guys already voted. Knight of Blackfire says, I voted for Mandela. Crane says the same. And Mr. Singularity just smiles mysteriously. In either case, I think that would be awesome. And just to be incredibly honest with you guys, I am so happy that you picked the Mandela catalog, because that's one that that's actually one of the first ones I heard about and one of the first 4 that I wanted to actually cover. So what I'll probably end up doing is making sure I know the official channel that it's on and all that. When I do research on any of these, whether they be analog horrors or ARGs, I do not do anything that's going to give me any information at all whatsoever. I just want to find the place that it's housed, and I want to make sure I give credit to the original creator, not someone that just re-uploaded it to get views, because YouTube is full of people like that, and I absolutely hate that about this platform. Other than that, it's pretty decent, and the copyright system is ass as well, but everything else is great. But if not for the copyright, not for the people just hungry for views, and they'll do anything for views, it's so annoying. I like inspired content and like real raw stuff. I hate like fake, like clickbaity type stuff. I just don't like it. But anyways, that's why I'm not as successful as I should be, because I'm stubborn and I don't like to do, those little tactics, use those cheap little tactics for success. But anyways, I think that was literally the one that I wanted to do first. Also, like I said earlier, I don't do any spoilers or anything like that. I just experience it firsthand with you guys, and then usually after I do whatever stream or whatever, if I have time, which I haven't really had time with Vita Carnis, I rewatch some of the highlights and all the notes. I read back the notes that I've taken, and then I try and put it together. And then once everything's said and done, maybe then I'll start looking at outside resources. But up until then, I do not, because I want to be able to come to my own conclusion that's not influenced by other people's theories. Because that's a great way to ruin your own judgment. And as a theorist, I do video game theories all the time on my main channel and stuff like that. This is actually my smallest channel, but this is like the one I have the most fun with. But anyways, lately anyways, I did want to leave you guys with the YouTube links, because I do have theories I do on the games that are just way out there, really obscure kind of stuff, really fun. And I never look at this is the most I've ever watched anybody else's YouTube in years. I normally don't watch anybody else's YouTube, and when I was streaming on Twitch, I just supported like smaller streamers, like I never watched like the big name people that you always hear about. I just don't watch them, and it's not because, oh my gosh, anything. I don't really watch YouTube like that. I just create videos and I'm like, well, this is what I'd like to watch, and I just post it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's really funny, but I like to not be influenced by other people. Everything that I've learned has been in the culmination of this 7 years of me just trying and failing and learning from those failures. So even still, it's hard to do what I do, because I could use like maybe some help in certain things. And but eventually, once I get back up and running, and once we bounce back from this little recession that I'm feeling from the YouTube perspective, because for the last 6 months it's been pretty rough, I'm going to make sure that I continue pumping out content across the 3 channels, and they're all going to be maintained, and I'll have, like, of course, the highest quality content I can deliver as a single person. A bunch of stuff in the works, though, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'm super excited about Mandela Catalog, and I'm glad you guys voted for it, because at the end of today, pretty much, the poll should lose its should lose its place in the algorithm, and then by then we'll have a final answer. Let's see, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. Everybody voted for Mandela Catalog. Knight of Blackfire says, I looked at Alex's channel, and he split Mandela into 2 playlists called Act 1 and Act 2. I believe he has them set up for the correct viewing order. Oh. Okay. And then Mr. Singularity said, I pinged you for something. Okay, I'll take a look at that. I'm assuming Discord, right? I am the worst at using Discord. I even have my own. You guys are more than happy to look at it. And it's something that we could always come together and join on. I just didn't have enough people interacting with it. And I used it primarily for streaming when I did incorporate it. So if you guys want to, you're more than welcome to join it. I don't care. I mean, I care if you do. That's great. I don't care if you don't. Like, I don't mind, you know. It would be more so for us to just talk outside of stream and outside of chat. I would love for you guys to come, but it doesn't hurt my feelings to be like, Discord. No, I don't really maintain it or anything. I just post every once in a while on it. And then other than that, I'm so busy managing my YouTube channels and all the social media that goes along with that. It's a lot. So that's why I don't really mind if you do or don't. But it would be cool if you guys could. But that wasn't like a sales pitch. I pinged you for something. The official channel is Alex Kister. Okay, great. I will take note of that. Dude, you guys are great. Like, this is so helpful. I know that, like, and I'm glad that you guys are telling me, because that way I don't, if I look it up and then it's like Alex Kister and then this is the answer to the entire, you know, the entire theory or the entire analog horror, it's like, that will literally be like the first hit, you know? Or it'll be somebody like this on a clickbait video that's saying Alex Kister's the demon or whatever. I'm just making it up, right? Whatever the monster is or whatever. You know how there's always something stupid like that. So no, I'm so glad. That saves me the possibility of getting it spoiled. Knight of Blackfire says, just remember, always have subtitles. I do love having the captions. Some of the videos for Vita Carnis did not have them, and I should have used them earlier on, but this was one of the first ARGs I was experimenting with as well on live on stream. And I was afraid of certain things, like maybe messing up with the quality of the video or copyright and all this other stuff. So I was just like, a lot of things are going through my head, but captions are top notch. Slowing down the footage is also great. So a lot of good things I learned from this series. There's me spamming you with my YouTube video. I do have 3 channels, so yeah, you guys check them out. They're awesome. Let's see. Well, I hope the theory comes out great to see that new ARG stream soon. Absolutely. It will be awesome. I'm going to finish up my Happy Meat Farms video, and that will be one of the first analog horror videos I feature on my main channel. And then Vita Carnis will be next, at least as far as we know. Once there's additional updates, of course, I'll have to do a recap that covers the first information we've uncovered so far, plus any additional developments. But that's just the way of life, because things are constantly updating. So yes, I will cover those. That's on my main channel, the Inhuman 1. Inhuman Live is where you're going to see things like the reactions and our live theory crafting together. And I might do like maybe an edited version that kind of shows the clips and me not maybe going and drinking water for 10 seconds or whatever. I don't know if you guys are even interested in that. But it's something that I'm thinking about if I can find the time. Let's see. The Discord thing, you guys can join if you want. Mr. Singularity says, I might help with Mandela as well. You're more than welcome to. Too bad I joined your Discord. Well, thank you. Crane says, I would like if you saw some of the FNAF VHS videos. Oh. So Five Nights at Freddy's is awesome, but it's just so mainstream now that it's one of those things that like people will get fat just making channels off of that alone, and they just spam it and spam it and milk it and milk it. And I just don't like that mentality. Like, if I personally liked FNAF or Five Nights at Freddy's, I'd be like, hell yeah. I'm not really interested in it too much. The only time I ever cared about it was when my son was really into it when he was, a lot younger. And it was fun because we found like all this memorabilia and stuff, and that was cool. It made it really enjoyable. So I wouldn't mind revisiting it. But I'm like, out of all the horror type things or indie games and all that, there's plenty that I love that people have never heard about. And then there's plenty that people always talk about that I'm like, this game is terrible. And you just are kind of milking it because it's like, hey, indie horror, and it's really crappy quality game, but it's got deep lore, and it really doesn't, So I would really happily look at a lot of those types of games, though. And I'll show you something really quick. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I'll show you in just a second. But yeah, I wouldn't mind revisiting FNAF. But I don't know. I have not ever beaten one single game, and there's like 20 of them now. So it's like, for me to catch up and now, I'm going to do lore on FNAF. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I could do that. If it's like a reaction type thing to, like you said, these VHS tapes, I would certainly do that. Because it's interesting enough for me to definitely warrant that. But I would love to be able to be knowledgeable in the full series, but it seems like it's so expansive now that it would be very difficult for me to do. And to jump into that one project, I want to always be thorough and good. I don't want to, kind of just rush it just for the sake of content. But yeah, I would love to take a look at it. Let's see. So the VHS videos though, are they like on YouTube, or like is it a game, or what is it exactly? And then Night of Blackfire says just one heads up about Mandela Inhuman VODs. Yeah, the VODs. Well, just so you know, this channel literally was my channel designated for VODs when I streamed on Twitch. I started off on this channel streaming, and then after I lost my job, I started streaming on Twitch, and for over a year, and it didn't really amount to much. So then I came back to YouTube after whatever period of time. But so YouTube's where my home is, because I started off my original channel over 7 years ago, and I have 3 YouTube channels, so I keep those all. Everything's on YouTube. I don't even stream on Twitch anymore unless I'm doing like a Patreon update, or I'm just like really bored and I don't care if like everybody's walking around and making all this noise. Otherwise, I like to have it like decent quality audio and stuff like that. But on Twitch, I don't. It's just, that's my couch. YouTube's my office. Twitch is my couch. Very casual. So that's where my VODs are. All my VODs will be here. It does talk about doing a Kermit. That's okay. Night of Blackfire, that's fine. The other video didn't get impacted by that. And I think because we paused it and we talked about certain other things, I think that maybe pushed the whole monetization and appropriateness level. It kept it below 18, which is fine. Don't forget that ping, by the way. I'm assuming that ping is in Discord, right? And do you want me to look at it now or after stream? FNAF has been milked too much. I agree. I think it's going to be good. Game theory, yeah. Yeah, like, those guys, like, I don't watch their videos, for example, and stuff like that, like the Matt Pat or whatever. I know of them. I watched a few videos years and years ago, and they're incredibly successful. But there's one thing when you have a freaking team of people doing research for you, and you read the script, and you don't even have to play the game and get the footage yourself. Yeah, I could pump out videos too if I could do that. But my thing is, I have to I have to get inspired to find a topic. I have to then collect the footage. I have to then write the script. I have to edit the video. Then I have to post it on 20 million social media just so a few hundred people can see it. Like, I'm not getting thousands or millions of views. Like, my channels have kind of died, my main channel specifically, for the last 6 months, because after I had some health issues and some other things I had to deal with, I wasn't able to post consistently, and it just ruined me. So, yeah, if I had a whole business model after it, it's just a one-man show, though, for me. So I have 3 channels that I have to do all of that for. So that's why it kind of bothers me. It's like, yeah, but you have a whole team doing research. You're reading the script. You're probably not even writing the script. A lot of these people are what do they call it? They're drama majors, so they're just good and loud and exciting to watch. But maybe they're not real gamers, or maybe they're not real geniuses. You just have, a team writing stuff, and yeah, oh, that's witty, or oh, this is the math, all these crazy math problems. Like, bro, like, you probably saw that on Reddit, and some genius on Reddit, because the Reddit has such a rich, has terrible people, but it also has some smart people that really look into stuff. You take that and you make a video out of it. That's what a lot of YouTubers do. They go on Reddit, they find a topic, they see somebody that had this amazing thing written out, and they completely just steal it. And I don't know what these other YouTubers do, but I know that a lot of them do it. Trust me. And a lot of the larger ones, they have teams that then do the same thing. And guess what? They're just the voice of the channel, and they reap all the benefit. I'm not going to do that. Even when I get as big as I want to get, I just need someone to help edit the videos for me. That's it. And if someone can do that, then my life, like, I literally gain like 4 hours out of each of my days, so 3 to 4 hours easy. But that's where I want to get. I want to get to where I have someone that edits it, has no knowledge of my process other than that. They're just editing the video, because I don't want them to even know like the inner workings of it. I'm very secretive in that way. But anyways, you guys are awesome to see. Cough cough game theory. Yeah. Some of the videos are very good. I agree. And some content creators are incredibly good, and they're like inspired, and it's unique. But a lot of creators, a lot of the successful ones, it's a business model. So they understand how to be successful. You go, you see what's trending, you do a video on that. Oh, guess what? You didn't come up with it first, but you have a big following already, so of course it's going to be successful. That's just the way it works. This age of internet makes it really easy for people that have big followings to create their own truths, But yeah, I'm not a big fan. I do agree, though. Some of the videos are good. I don't think they're bad. I don't think there's any bad videos. I just think that they're not necessarily inspired. They're probably ripped straight off of Reddit. I guarantee I could find a video of any one of the big channels and then find a Reddit that predates that, a Reddit post that predates it. Singularity said, look at it now. I will. While your lore collection is fresh. Okay, I'll look at it. Night of Blackfire says, well, Game Theory does play the games. He does on his channel. Okay, cool. That's cool. He does play the games. Nice. And so my thing is, I don't know, and I don't even care, but that's good. I like that. That makes it, to me, have a better level of authenticity. Like, you're like, okay, you're not just like having your team play it for you, right? Now, I don't know if he goes and plays through the game in its entirety. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But that's good. Even that interaction with the game in its raw form is awesome. And I have always, the one thing about MatPat and all them, one thing I do like about that is he's created a system where all of his channels can thrive in these different categories or genres, and that's impressive. So he understands the concept. Funny thing is, I did it a little different. I started off all my channels without really having one to be like, hey guys, all you thousands of people, come follow this channel that I just created. I did them all almost at the same time. So I never got that carryover. But all of my different channels do cover different genres, which is kind of neat. Like, one's all live stuff. The other's all video game type lore and theories. And then the other one's all like anime and sci-fi, like anything like film related. So I like that concept. And MatPat has done that to great success. So that's really cool. I do like that. And he definitely has the secret sauce. Let's see. The loud men. When it comes to FNAF, or what I call them, screaming monkey. I prefer you. Well, thank you. I think he's great, and I hope to one day have just a sliver of the success that they've experienced. You know, the Night of Blackfire says, thing is, Matt has 4 channels covering he now has clothing stuff, so that's the 4th channel. I knew about food, games, and movies. Yep, and GT. Oh, okay, and GT Live. I knew about that one too. Then actually, because at first I think it was just it was Game Theory Live, and Food Theory. No, Film Theory. I didn't. Food Theory, I've seen the thumbnails. Never watched one of those. And then I guess there's what? I'm assuming Clothes Theory or something like that. Maybe Clothing Theory. I don't know what he'd call it. Style Theory. Fashion Theory, probably. Fashion Theory. I don't know. He has a son to help with, so he's kind of busy. Yeah, no doubt. He's got all these channels, and he's got a big team, though, too. Even his wife helped. Inhuman is pure. For now. Until I get successful, then I'll be impure. No, I'm just kidding. My thing is, there's not a number that I want to hit. There's just I just want to be able to successfully, not successfully. So from a personal standpoint, there's a few things I want from my success on the channel. One is that I want to be able to always post what I'm passionate about and what I love. And I hope that content reaches an audience that appreciates it. And so that's the step, right? And I want that appreciation, because this is like the effort I'm putting in, right, to translate into a sufficient amount for me to consistently just pay the bills without having to worry about, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Now it's approaching 7 to 8 months, has been incredibly stressful because of the stuff that I had to deal with health-wise, and then the other topic that I don't want to talk about on internet or whatever on social media. The other thing that it's been so much that every month I've been like please let me make this and make this work, you know. And by no means have I ever been like, oh, I want to make 10,000 a month. I don't even care that. I am a very simple man. Like, I don't have lots of things, and I don't really I like video games, and I like doing the YouTube stuff. So if I have the means to do that, I'm happy. As if my family is healthy, they have clothes and food and shelter, and we can go and do maybe a vacation every once in a while, they're happy as hell. And that makes me incredibly happy. That's the purpose of my life. I want to just be able to do what I'm doing and be able to provide for my family, right? And that's been so hard these last few months. But I know that if I give up, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. So my wife has been so amazing and supportive of my passion to monetize this. And I've been able to collect checks for years now on my main channel. And now I just monetized this channel here, and then I finally brought back content on my the anime channel, which is finally, it only makes like $9 a month though, so it's not anything. But I don't post very often on it is why. But now all 3 channels are up and running. I'm trying to keep them all maintained, you know. So my dream is not I need 1 million subscribers or whatever, or even that silver play button. I don't even care about the 100,000 anymore. I used to, but what I care about is, can I make videos that I love and that my audience and this community appreciates, and that's enough for me to pay all my bills and for us to eat and whatever else. Like, if that happens, that is my dream, and that would be everything I could ever ask for. So that's why I think, like, in that sense, I don't want to be famous. I don't care about that. I just want my community, whether that be 20,000 people, 50,000, however many thousand people, I want that community to be like us, to be close knit and just be able to have fun and do like this kind of stuff, you know. Otherwise, if you're just talking to hundreds of people in chat and whatever, and it's like it just becomes like chaos, you know, and that's not something I really want. That pet's not that good or bad. It's just a bit dry. He's also covering Vita Carnis. He's covering Vita Carnis. Oh my god! No way. No way. I bet he's covered, or he is gonna. Whether everything that I bet that I'm liking is probably something that somehow he's finding out algorithmically is gonna make him bank. So he's like, "Yep, this is gonna be a good video." So Vita Carnis is probably gonna blow up. All right, let's catch up on comments. Blackfire says, a lot of Matt's theories are meant to be entertainment, but when it comes to FNAF, it's meant to actually solve the game's lore, so it's covered more and with more effort and fact. Okay, cool. I like that. More fact-checking. I like that. I also like those entertaining theories. Like, maybe I do a lot of those too, where it's like, oh man, I did one on Wo Long where it's like, what if the bad guy is actually the good guy, and this is why? Because I looked at historically, like, how he could have been modeled after the first person that was the first emperor of the dynastical Chinese rule, and how that person was like really revered, and they weren't even sure if he was human or not. They thought he was a dragon, and how I tied it to the lore. And I'm like, well, the bad guy's the good guy, and you're actually the bad guy because you killed him. So I love those fun theories like that. A widespread is nice. Like his theory about Mario being a commie. That was one of the first videos I saw. That's a very old video. That's how I think one of the first videos I ever saw with MatPat. And I mean, this was years ago. Yeah, he was a commie for sure. Well, many theories. Oh, you know what? I've been doing theories for a long time though, and my channel it doesn't grow very much at all. It's just because I don't do like the most clickbaity things, and I don't do a lot of like mainstream games. I do a lot of indie games, and that kind of hurts me a bit, but I don't care. I want my community to be built off like, hey, what did the Inhuman one come up with this time, you know? And you guys be like, yeah, I never heard about this, but it sounds cool, you know. Let's see. Yeah, that was such a fun theory, the Mario one. You know, I have one actually that's I have my iPad right next to me that I bought whenever I was working, and I was like, this is going to be designated for the one day whenever I'm able to do this full time. Well, guess what? I can use it now, right? So my iPad has all of my scripts, and I have an entire folder that has incomplete scripts, and it's like, I think 30 scripts in there, and some of them are just off the wall, and I'm like, I don't even know if I could post this, but there's some really cool ones in there that I want to post, and there is one that has Mario in it, and it's really neat. And I was thinking about doing that, but I have so many things on schedule right now that it just has to go back in the backlog until I have a down period or something, like free time. I hope Inhuman's channel grows. I may have only appeared on the Vita Carnis streams, but I already see this channel's potential. Well, I appreciate that. I think I'm going to be leaning more towards the analog horror stuff and kind of start weaning away from the games just a bit. Just so that I can fit more time to do these analog horrors, and then my main channel will be designated just for the lore and theories. This channel, the Inhuman Live, the reason why I want to kind of start reducing the amount of just pure video game guides and things like that is because although that's right now the most successful type of content, I have a feeling that the analog horror might be a better avenue for me, and it's just a really fun thing for me to do. I'll still pepper in some game stuff though, just to kind of keep things afloat algorithmically. But yeah, I definitely want to lean towards a more 100% like live reaction, live theorizing type channel. Let's see. Oh, look, an ad. Is it a flavor enhancer ad? Crane says, I hope you achieve your goals and get more famous so you get more money and live better. Again, I don't care about the fame. I just need a little bit more cash because right now I'm making like nothing. I'm just making enough to break the threshold. So I'll tell you, like, so that's the hint at how much I'm making right now. When I was making significantly more, just look up the YouTube threshold, payout threshold. And that's across all 3 channels, by the way. Mr. Singularity says, I may be sending some puzzles to Matt as well. Nice, nice. Oh, I'm sure. You said that. I think you said you helped him once. Night of Blackfire says, he's slowly watching through Vita Carnis. He's only got through the big documentary video. Okay. Yeah, he's going to probably watch everything, and then it's going to be another week or so, and his team will do all the research, whatever else, and then together they'll come up with a video. And it'll probably be on Film Theory. Yeah, Matt has yet to watch the messed up stuff we've seen. He usually checks something out on GT Live and then makes a theory video about it. Oh, okay, cool. So he like tests that, you know, just so you know, I want my channels to have synergy as well. And that's why I said, you know what, I'm going to start incorporating analog horror videos and theory videos into my main channel. Because I was like, if I'm doing these live reactions to the analog horrors, I want to somehow find a way to make lore out of it. Because it's great to kind of like have general thoughts, and you can see my thought process and, you know, ideas of what I'm trying to figure out. But then once I sit down, I go through all my notes. I can write a script that then covers everything very concisely. So as opposed to 5 or 6 hours of a stream, you can look at maybe a 8 to 10 minute video that's going to have everything you need. So I did mention that I was going to be including those analog horrors on the main channel, and I've even posted about it on that channel saying, hey, guys, look out, because there's going to be some non-gaming stuff. To me, it is kind of a game because it's a puzzle and you're figuring it out. So I consider that a game in my opinion. So it's fun, and it makes sense to be on that channel. Let's see. He usually checks it out and it makes theory. Mr. Singularity says, I wonder how Matt will make his Vita Carnis video. Will he blame it on the government? Yeah, I wonder. He's either going to go aliens or he's going to go pure like Illuminati, like all day. Especially with the triangle thing, he's going to go nuts over that. The picture. Oh, yeah. To make some sense in the unknown. You said to look at the Discord, right? Let me do that and then... Oh, nice. You know, I was trying to count how many of these people had the, whatchamacallits, the pins. You know, and then they all seem to be dressed differently. It's hard to say if they're from different time periods or all the same periods as different countries. Maybe world leaders kind of converging together for this one, you know, possible way to, like, control the world, you know? Just like the real Illuminati. Just kidding. But anyways, you guys are awesome. I just want to say thank you so much for today's stream. It is 1:08. I think it was a pretty decent length stream, maybe 2 hours or so. I'm going to get some food in me and then start, I guess, taking notes on kind of putting my notes together on Vita Carnis, just like I did for Happy Meat Farms. I'm going to try and finish my Happy Meat Farms theory by the end of this week. And then what I'll do is I'll put a thumbnail up for a reminder for the upcoming live stream for Mandela Catalog. Mandela Catalog is going to be so much fun. It's something that I've really been looking forward to. Thank you so much, Night of Black, for letting me know it's Alex Kister's channel. So I'll make sure that not only is he credited for it, the original creators to me and giving them their proper merits is so important to me because I understand what it's like to not be, you know, like have a network that's able to just elevate you. Everything I've done has been just from the ground up, just me. So I want to see everybody be successful that deserves it, you know. So if he hasn't already blown up, the more kudos we can give to him, the more attention, the better. But anyways, Mandela Catalog is gonna be freaking awesome. Can't wait. Of course, Night, if you're able to join, I would love you to be here. I hope that you will see. Goodbye. See you next stream or video. Absolutely. Yeah, you'll see some videos, of course, that are gaming related and stuff, and that's fine. But these live streams are pretty most part going to be analog horrors, and I might throw in my gaming challenge runs every once in a while, but I definitely want to continue down this path because to me it's just so much fun. So Mandela Catalog, let's see, Friday. So if you guys can be here, I would love to have you. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out. Hope you have a great day, a great rest of your week, and I will see you then. If not, I'll definitely see the void. Oh, the VOD. I'm sorry. I thought you said I'll see you in the void. I was like, wow, that's creepy. Hopefully not yet. Hopefully the singularity hasn't arrived just yet. No, but he said if not, I'll definitely see the VOD. Awesome, man. Well, I really hope to see you guys if possible, and if not, we'll catch you in the next one. Okay. You guys have a great rest of your day and week, and I will see you guys Friday.